Gold is at 5,000, the dollar is melting, and you're staring at an $82,000 Bitcoin wondering if you've missed the boat. You haven't missed it, you're just trapped in a scarcity loophole that the elites are using to drain your paper wealth while you sleep. Yo, it's Freddy Hustle. In the last video, we built a physical fortress of gold, but today we're going digital to find the only exit left before the banking system slams the door shut forever. Don't let the $82,000 price tag scare you. The real math is in the supply, where 3.4 million Bitcoin are already lost forever in the digital graveyard. We aren't fighting over 21 million coins, we are fighting over the tiny sliver that hasn't been locked away by whales or buried in landfills. Right now, 85 entities control 14% of everything that's left, and they aren't selling to you. They're waiting for you to panic so they can buy your future at a discount. This is the bear cycle manipulation, where wealth is transferred from the messy middle to the institutional elite who understand the beyond Bitcoin strategy. The scarcity loophole is the bridge between the gold bars in your safe and the code in your wallet. It's the realization that in 2026, if an asset can be printed, it's a liability. We're moving beyond simple crypto into tokenized real-world assets that the government cannot freeze and the banks cannot steal. Beyond Bitcoin strategy. Let's be real about altcoins. They have become a distraction and a wealth trap because they showed a pathetic lack of resilience in this latest cycle. While Bitcoin is holding strong at 82,000, most altcoins are down nearly 80% from their highs, proving they lack the hard money DNA needed to survive a real crash. We are entering a liquidity vacuum where the supply on exchanges has dropped to record lows because the big players are moving their coins into deep cold storage. This means when the next wave of buying pressure hits, there won't be enough Bitcoin for everyone, and the price explosion will be unlike anything we've ever seen. The strategy for 2026 is moving beyond Bitcoin into things like tokenized gold and silver that can be traded instantly on the blockchain. This scarcity loophole allows you to own the stability of a physical bar with the portability of a digital token, bypassing the high costs of traditional storage. Think about the $37 trillion of global debt. It's a math problem that has only one solution: devaluing the currency you work so hard for. Bitcoin and physical metals are the only two exits left on this highway to hyperinflation, and the elite are already standing at the door. The true value of your assets in 2026 is their censorship resistance. If a bank can stop you from spending it, you don't actually own it. Gold and Bitcoin pass this test with flying colors, giving you a level of financial freedom that the new CBDC systems are specifically designed to destroy. Look at the distribution. Just 85 whale wallets holding 14% of the supply means the market is highly concentrated among those with long-term conviction. If you sell your Bitcoin at $80,000 because you're scared of a dip, you're literally handing your future to a billionaire on a silver platter. This bear cycle is a gift for the Freddy Hustle community because it allows us to accumulate while the masses are blinded by fear and bad headlines. Generational wealth is built when assets are boring and hated, not when they are pumping on the nightly news at record highs. The merger of AI and financial algorithms in 2026 is making the market more volatile. But it also highlights the value of assets that exist outside of a server, whether it's the physical silver needed for AI chips or the digital scarcity of Bitcoin. We are betting on the fundamental inputs of the new economy. If you aren't using self-custody for your digital assets, you are still living in the paper trap, where an exchange failure can wipe you out overnight. Being your own bank is the final step in the scarcity loophole strategy, ensuring that your wealth is entirely under your own control, no matter what happens to the grid. Institutional demand from spot ETFs is acting as a massive, though invisible, floor that didn't exist in previous cycles. This means the dips are likely to be shallower and the recoveries faster as BlackRock and Fidelity absorb every Satoshi that panicked retail investors throw onto the market. The traditional 60-40 portfolio is officially dead because bonds are no longer a hedge against the inflation of the 2020s. Professionals are now rotating that capital into hard assets, and that is exactly where the gold and silver surge we discussed earlier is coming from. We are entering the nation-state phase of the game theory, where countries are starting to compete for Bitcoin reserves to protect themselves from dollar-based sanctions. When global powers start bidding against each other for a limited supply of 17 million coins, the scarcity loophole will create a vertical move that most people can't even imagine. The messy middle class is currently being tricked into selling their futures to cover their credit card debt at $80,000. Don't be the person who sells the most scarce asset in history to pay for a lifestyle that the system is intentionally making more expensive every day. The ultimate scarcity isn't gold or Bitcoin, it's your time. Working for a currency that loses 5% of its value every year means you are effectively losing a portion of your life every single day. Moving to hard assets is how you reclaim your time and your freedom. Stop trying to time the exact bottom with high-frequency trading and start using a set-and-forget strategy with assets that the government cannot print. If you have a 10-year horizon, the daily noise of 82,000 versus 75,000 becomes entirely irrelevant to your wealth-building journey. Bitcoin is the ultimate asset for the 2026 digital nomad because it offers global portability that no amount of gold can match. Being able to carry your entire net worth in your head across any border is the ultimate form of protection in a world of growing geopolitical instability. Market psychology tells us that the best time to buy is when apathy is at its peak and nobody wants to hear about crypto anymore. We are in that zone right now. And while it feels uncomfortable, this is exactly where the foundations of generational wealth are poured. New hardware wallets and multi-sig solutions are making it easier than ever to be your own bank in the late 2020s. This custody revolution is the final piece of the puzzle that allows the average person to step outside the fragile banking system once and for all. Why does Freddy Hustle focus on these hard truths? Because I want you to win the long game and avoid the traps that are set for the unprepared in this currency reset. Real freedom isn't just about having money, it's about having assets that the system cannot manipulate or seize. Over 60% of Bitcoin mining in 2026 is powered by renewable energy, shattering the old myths used by the media to discourage retail investment. We are looking at one of the cleanest and most efficient industrial sectors on the planet, and it's securing your digital future every 10 minutes. There will never be another Bitcoin because you cannot recreate the immaculate conception of its fair launch in a world of VC-backed centralized tokens. Bitcoin is a once-in-a-civilization discovery, and once the world realizes its true scarcity, there will be no looking back. My advice is simple. Build a hybrid stack of physical gold you can touch and digital Bitcoin you can control. This combination provides the maximum resilience against all possible failure points in the modern economy, from bank runs to internet outages. We are currently in the early adopter phase of the sovereign debt crisis, where the smart money is moving before the masses even realize there is a fire. Don't wait for the mass adoption phase to be complete, because by then the scarcity loophole will have already been exploited by the elites. Global liquidity is starting to cycle back into hard assets as the credit markets tighten up in early 2026. This is the moment when the scarcity loophole becomes an obvious path for anyone trying to preserve their purchasing power in a world of infinite money printing. The paper generation is being replaced by the real asset generation, and your success in the late 2020s depends on which side of that divide you choose today. Align yourself with the laws of mathematics and physics, and you will find that your wealth grows even when the rest of the world is in chaos. Remember that scarcity is the only thing that creates long-term value, and everything else is just a distraction or a liability in the 2026 economy. Focus on the assets that cannot be expanded by the whim of a politician, and you will always have a seat at the table of the future. Take a look at your balance sheet today and identify where your wealth is actually just a promise from a system that is failing. Start trading some of those promises for the cold, hard reality of gold, silver, and Bitcoin, and you will be building a foundation that cannot be shaken. The road to financial freedom is lonely if you do it alone, but as part of the Freddy Hustle community, you are moving with the smart money and the visionaries. We are here to navigate this collapse together and ensure that we come out on the other side stronger and wealthier than ever before. We are entering a golden age of assets for those who have the courage to step outside the trap and embrace the new digital and physical reality. This is the biggest opportunity of our lifetime, and the scarcity loophole is your ticket to the winning side of history. Before we finish, remember that this is not financial advice. I'm sharing my perspective on the 2026 economy, and you must do your own research. The markets are high risk, and you should never invest money that you cannot afford to lose in this volatile environment. Hit that subscribe button to stay ahead of the scarcity loophole and join a community that is dedicated to real wealth and real freedom. We are breaking down the macro trends and the whale secrets every single week to make sure you never get caught in the paper trap again.